Hello, this is TurretinFan. I'm responding to a video put out calling Mark Kielar and LaneCh liars when it comes to Finney. The supposed lie is, there's many of them in the video. It's a 38-minute video. But the one that seemed to be most significant was the claim that it's a lie that Finney said salvation is the work of man. Now, Finney may not have used those exact words. And I've encouraged Lane to do a small adjustment to indicate that that's a paraphrase, that those aren't the exact words, or at least that we can't find those exact words anywhere in his writings. But the thought is there, and I'll explain why. Here's from his actual words. He says, he endorses the following expression. He says, a tract might be written upon this proposition that, quote, conversion or regeneration is the work of man, close quote, which would be just as true, just as scriptural, and just as philosophical as the one to which I have alluded, and the one he's alluding to is a tract called Regeneration, the Effect of Divine Power. And just before that, he says that although this, and here's his words, the Spirit of God, by the truth, influences the sinner to change, and in this sense is the efficient cause of the change, but the sinner actually changes, and is therefore himself, in the most proper sense, the author of the change. If that's not calling salvation the work of man, by calling regeneration and conversion the work of man, well, maybe that's a quibble that somebody wants to make, but to call it a lie, that's ridiculous. So, in my view, Kerrigan Skelly, who's promoting this video, and the men who produced the video, who I'm not familiar with, really owe Lane an apology. I understand if they're going to take issue with the fact that those exact words are not in Finney, and Lane has, from what I understand, indicated on his video that those are a paraphrase now. But that's not a lie. It's not a misrepresentation of what Finney was saying. It is what he's saying. And I'm quoting to you from his Lectures on Revivals of Religion in the section How to Preach the Gospel, page 183. Those are his words. I'm not making this up. I'm not altering what Finney said. I'm not changing his doctrine. I'm giving it to you plain and simple. He's a synergist, and he says, in the most proper sense, conversion and regeneration are the work of man, which is paraphrased by Mark and Lane as salvation is the work of man. And it's not just that he said that religion is the work of man, which the video points out. He does also say that, but that's not all he says. And with all due respect to Kerrigan Skelly and his desire to find Calvinists being liars, Lane and Mark weren't lying. If they said he used those words, then that was inaccurate, but the thought was definitely there. So this has been TurretinFan. I understand that I'm going to discuss this at greater length with Lane in the future, perhaps in some kind of audio format. But for now, I just wanted to get this out and to set the matter straight, that in fact Finney did teach that conversion or regeneration is the work of man. And just clear that up, put it on the record, and give the Finneyites a chance to come back and complain if they want to say this really isn't one of Finney's works and that I've been misled, and that I'm going to the primary sources here, but perhaps there's somebody who's putting out fraudulent Finney works. If they want to make that claim, I'm open to correction, but otherwise I think they owe Lane and Mark an apology. So thanks for listening. This has been TurretinFan.